All right, let's hit some of this big SEC news. Dude, the Garrett Nussmeier thing was weird.
Yeah,
What? What was that?
I don't know headlines, but it was just something that wasn't really anything, right? Is that what I
Just
took from it?
a rumor, internet rumor that he tore his ACL in practice, which is would be a rather significant thing, seeing a lot of people think he may be the first quarterback off the board in next year's draft. And a lot of people think LSU could win the SEC and possibly a national title this season. So LSU fans were freaking out as that rumor was swirling. And then several people that are close to the program came out and said, no, that's not what's going on. But then Brian Kelly, like the rumor gained so much traction that Brian Kelly actually came out and addressed it publicly,
Yeah.
which isn't normally how these things go. I don't know. The whole thing was crazy, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it all started and blew up, but you know, the tendonitis stuff, it can be nothing or it can be something, you know. And they said that there's no fraying or anything going on there, so should be okay. But oftentimes there's stuff like that that will start to show up, and you're not surprised later if you see an injury there. But that's a pretty common ailment that you see from a lot of athletes.
Do you think Garrett Nussmeier was thrilled at just how much detail Brian Kelly went into about his knee?
I don't know.
I mean, these quotes, just for the record, he has tendonitis, patella tendonitis. He does not have a torn ACL. We have not amputated his leg, which was a great line.
Right.
He also, which by the way, Brian Kelly, it's patellar tendon, not patella tendon. Come on, man, get it right. But I thought this was funny. He said, I think it just planted, the wrong way. And when you have something that is, a pre-existing condition, you can piss it off really easy, and that's kind of what happened. It's not torn. There's no fraying. There's none of that. This is pre-existing, and he probably just planted the wrong way. You think Nussmeier's just giddy that Brian Kelly is talking about his pre-existing knee issues when he's trying to
Yeah.
be the first pick of the draft?
Yeah. Yeah. I get that one on the record there, coach.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't,
it, at least make the NFL teams go through the medical files. Coach, come on, man.
if I know anything about Nussmeyer and his Wolverine-like abilities to heal, he probably made it out of practice better than he started.
In in all seriousness, I'm very glad he's okay because I want to watch that guy play football this season.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder, like patellar tendonitis so bad that guys missing practices. I don't know. That's you don't hear that like college age guys. Like maybe a high school kid with a classic case of jumper's knee or something like that. But I don't know. Have you ever heard about a quarterback with patellar tendonitis?
No, I will say I I don't know if I injured or what, but I did something to mine doing lunges one time, and I was it did not feel good for a couple of days. But like I could see like kind of the pain where it's bothersome, but you could probably easily play through it. And I imagine that's similar to what he's done there, that you don't have any structural damage, but as Brian Kelly put it perfectly, it was pissed off.
A pre-existing condition. You can piss it off real easy, and that's kind of what happened.
Well, it's never good though whenever your potentially Heisman caliber quarterback is complaining of a knee issue.
I
Doesn't make anyone feel good.
No, never going to make you feel good, but glad he's all right. Seems like nothing really, but I just I want to know what Nussmeier thought of Kelly doing that. Just like, oh, thanks for defending me, coach. I think. Did you have to tell him all that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, actually, it's just a genetic flaw that he's got in his knees that has flared up. It's pre-existing.
It's pre-existing. Moving on to the next SEC headline. The Texas Longhorns are the preseason number one team in the country for the first time ever. I
I
read
had to
that and I
reread. Yeah,
was shocked.
I had to reread it, and I was like, that can't be the history of the program. That was incredibly shocking. But hey, congratulations. Welcome to the big boy club.
I wish we could just make a two out of the last 3 years. It has not gone well for the Sooners. So I really wish
Yeah.
we could just
Go
make
all
fun of
in.
them right now. Losers, number
Well,
one.
also to add to that, not only is it the first time they've been preseason number one, they're also an underdog in their first game, which is, again, adds another element of oddity to it.
They are playing at preseason number three.
Yeah. And it's
And
like a 2.5 point line on the road, which is really a pick 'em, but it just kind of, it's a layer there that you don't typically see the number one team be a dog in the first game.
has that ever happened?
That I do not have the answer to.
It if it has, it can't have happened many times.
It has to be rare.
But that's really not the Texas headline I wanted to talk about. Like them being number one, hey, it is what it is. We'll see what type of season they end up having. They had a guy that possibly could have started for him on the O line tears ACL in camp.
Mm.
Andre Cojoe is battling Brandon Baker for that right tackle spot. And maybe Baker ends up winning that battle. But we've talked about how important it is for Texas offensive line to play at a similar level that they played at a season ago. To give Arch Manning and that offense its best chance to succeed, losing a potential starting tackle is not an ideal way for that to happen, Ted.
No, it's not. And you go really quickly from saying, hey, we don't know who's going to win the right tackle spot, but we feel pretty good about both the guys there, and we're gonna have some good depth to all of a sudden not having that depth, and it's just, does that cause some dominoes to fall, and you got to rearrange what you've been doing and what you did through the spring and the first part of training camp? I don't know, but when you lose an offensive lineman, especially at tackle, that's battling for a starting spot, it's going to affect your team. Like, maybe there's a chance that it doesn't show up again for the rest of the year, but most likely, it's going to put you in a tough spot down the road.
Yeah, and we'll see if it ends up becoming a big issue for them. Now, they've recruited at a very high level. They have developed along the offensive line as well as
Mm-hmm.
I can remember them developing O linemen over these last couple of years. So we'll see if if losing Kojo for this season becomes a big issue for the Longhorns. But I kept thinking about some of the stuff that Sark does offensively. And one of the things is I do wonder if Kojo would have been that extra tackle he likes to bring in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do that quite a bit where they throw an 80 number on a tackle and bring them out and use them in some of their sets. Kojo could have been that guy. So now do you have to go to another guy for that role? I don't know, but I think you combine the Kojo injury and all the reporting that was coming out of the Texas scrimmage where it seemed like the O line had a very tough time blocking the D line. Texas fans are probably going, I miss having the four veteran starter guys. That was more fun, you know.
Yeah. And they've got some good edge talent now.
Oh,
So those guys are going to be difficult for everyone to block. Interior, maybe a different question and maybe a little more unproven, but um,
Yeah.
it is
Simmons
interesting.
is he's the real deal.
He
Like
is.
that guy's the real deal. So
And that's one of the things we talked about with him is like, okay, Arch is perhaps going to be better than Quinn Ewers was, and he's got a real high ceiling, but you know, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. If the protection around him isn't top notch, the running game isn't rolling like it has been for Texas in recent years because of some offensive line struggles or not being as good as you were the last couple of years. I mean, it could hurt the performance there. Hard to know at this point.
I as I've seen some of the stuff coming out of Texas's camp, I do wonder if like they could be a defensively driven football team.
I already feel like they have been for the last couple of years.
They were really good on defense last year
Yeah.
and the year before. You look at I've got their SP plus stuff. I mean, yeah, they were better on offense in 2023 than they were last season. But yeah, these last couple of years, like last year, they were SP plus number 2 on defense.
Yeah.
Year before that, they were 13. So it could be one of those situations where maybe if they're having some issues blocking some guys, maybe they're a little more conservative offensively and
Yeah.
they play to the strength of that defense. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it can be hard to be more like I feel like he has been pretty conservative the way they've run the ball, but you know, I I don't know. I think maybe the offensive line questions are overblown, at least at this point. There's not a whole lot to go off of. Um, but it can get difficult to even be conservative whenever you're not able to run the ball effectively and protection breaks down. You put yourself in some bad spots. But I do think that would be the way I would predict that they're going to play right now anyways, is a little bit more conservative offensively, at least early on.
You have the Arch Manning ability, like his ability to run and how that could open some things up in the run game for him. And you could maybe even be a little more conservative, keep it on the ground more, knowing that, hey, that makes things a little more stressful on a defense when it comes to defending QB run. I don't know, but it's so interesting that Texas is preseason number 1 when they it feels like they've got a lot of question marks on their team. But then you look at all these teams and it's kind of everyone's got all these question marks. It's
Someone's got to be number one, and I don't
right.
know. And we've talked about this, like the top 10, top 8 or so. I agree that they all should be there, but I feel like 8 could beat 1, 5 could lose to 7. Like it's hard to know right now where anyone truly is because almost all of them are replacing quarterbacks, and that's just the beginning of what they're replacing.
Yeah. But never ideal when you lose a guy that maybe was going to start for you on the offensive line in
Yep.
camp. So we'll see how that ends up working out for the Longhorns. Gosh, I am so excited for that week 1 game.
I know.
That's going to be awesome, dude. I can't wait.
You got 3 top 10 matchups in week 1. Be pretty cool.
But that Texas Ohio State one, like that's the game, man. That's the one for me. There's just so many storylines going into it. It's gonna be your face disagrees. That beard may be hiding a little more of your face, but it's not hiding your expression.
I mean, that game is going to have a ton of buildup, but I almost part of me thinks that the LSU Clemson game may be a little more telling.
A little spicier.
Yeah.
Well, there's no fraying. It's a pre-existing condition, Ted.
The pre-existing condition.
I can't believe you said that.
Target his knee.
All right, we got one more. I can't wait for your thoughts on our last SEC topic. But first, three things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise, it's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. I simply can't wait to talk to you about this. Jon Gruden visited Georgia's training camp, spoke to their squad, ended up putting it out on his YouTube page, which is wildly entertaining, by the way. And here was the quote that everyone's talking about. The only reason I came here is I want to coach again. I'm being honest with you. I do not BS either. I want to coach again. I die to coach in the SEC. I would love it. I would effing love it. Went ahead and edited that a little bit for people that listen with kids in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Ted, I want Jon Gruden to coach in the SEC so badly.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
That would be so amazing for the content.
Content king, wildly entertaining. I personally believe he's a really good football coach too. I Number one, how serious is he? Feels serious. Number two, I like where what would you picture as a landing spot?
I
Kind of
clearly,
matters.
yeah, clearly you have to. College football is professional football now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if Jon Gruden could step into a situation where there's a front office around him that will handle a bunch of the stuff that he probably doesn't want to deal with, I have no doubt in my mind he could succeed as a college football head coach. But it really comes down to what programs are willing to put up with the PR that's going to come with it. Because the emails are the emails. Although I saw
he just won.
Yeah.
He won what was it? The Nevada Supreme Court
or something.
Ruling, and they're going to be able to take it to the next level, which, I don't know how willing the NFL's going to want to be to get into that deal, but I don't know. I'm with you. I think Arkansas is going to be the first job available. And I don't know. I think the positive, injection that you would get nationally from that would be pretty big. But, I don't know. He's a West Coast offense guy. I don't see him coaching without running his offense. Do you?
No.
And I don't know. I don't know how that offense translates to college football right now. I mean,
all the guy has been doing, though, has been watching tape and absorbing offense. That's what he does.
Well, I would say this, now that I think about it, if I'm in the NFL and I'm looking for quarterbacks, almost every quarterback you take now from college, you have to go through this whole new coaching process of how you operate, the way the offenses are called and the language of them. I'd be giving extra marks to a Gruden coached quarterback in college, no doubt about it.
I I've talked about this many times. I think college kids can absorb a lot more than coaches think.
No doubt.
I also think they're all getting paid now. So whatever our rule is in place is stupid and should go away. You should be able to like these guys need to know what they're doing on the field because they're making money.
Right.
So stay in this meeting until you know what you're doing, buddy.
Right.
Go to this walkthrough until you know what you're doing, buddy. But I just think there is with the new environment in college football and how it's working, if you're Jon Gruden, you can go, hey, this is my offense. This is what you will be running. Here is a clip of 18 NFL teams running the exact same plays you're going to run.
Mm-hmm.
And you put them side by side. Come play my offense in the SEC. Now, if it is somewhere like Arkansas, like I think Arkansas would be great because I don't think there's a ton of pressure there.
Right.
But you also got the Walmart people and the Tyson chicken people.
Yeah. And they're in need of some headlines, like some energy in that.
Calipari
program.
brought a lot of juice to that basketball program this season.
Right. And
could you imagine if they're two like revenue producing sports head coaches were John Calipari and Jon Gruden?
Hey, and it's interesting. You talk about, look at all the NFL teams running the same offense. When Belichick took the North Carolina job, he said, I'm going to run this like an NFL organization. We're going to run NFL style offenses and NFL style defenses. And we want to view this as basically a farm league for the NFL. How true is that? Has he carried through with that? I have no idea. I just know that that's what he said. So I don't know. I mean, there'll be a lot of people who wouldn't mind go playing for Jon Gruden.
His popularity is way up there right now.
Yeah.
With the stuff he's been doing with Barstool, like opening the boxes of gear. Like, I think he's always been a pretty popular guy going back to I think when he was on Monday Night Football, people loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to have to work through, if you hire him, you're going to have to work through some of the blowback, but let's just be real. If it's somewhere in the SEC, I think people are going to be able to overlook that stuff. It is what it is. It's kind of,
yeah. I don't know. I think if he's serious about it, and he's told his agent he's serious about it, his phone's going to be blowing up halfway through this season.
Auburn?
Or maybe already. Well,
Auburn's willing to take the PR hit. That's for sure. They hired Hugh Freeze.
Absolutely. I mean, if you go back and look at the articles, people talking about hot seat, in whatever order you want to place them in, it's Auburn, it's Arkansas, it's Kentucky, it's Oklahoma, and it's Florida. So there you go.
Jon Gruden at Florida would be pretty. I don't want him to go to Florida because I think he could do a really good job.
He loves Florida.
Do you think Billy Napier saw that clip and was like, dang it?
Oh, my God.
Because
Lagway's still hurt.
Lagway's still hurt, which is why when we went through the SEC poll, I am lower on Florida than most. But one of the main talking points people bring up is Billy Napier gonna stay at Florida because DJ Lagway is a Billy Napier guy. I don't think he's Billy Napier guy if you bring in Jon Gruden, known developer of quarterbacks.
Yeah, if you ask Lagway right now, are you a Gruden guy or are you a Napier guy? What do you think he'd say?
Who do you think's gonna teach you more about playing quarterback in the NFL? I and I don't know Billy Napier. I'm just saying I don't think DJ Lagway would go, I'm out, I'm gone. What, you're bringing in Gruden? Oh, what, the quarterback camp guy? No way. No.
Meeting number one. DJ, you like football, man?
You
I mean, you really love it. You love football,
come
man.
on, man. You gotta love it, man. He does see it seems like he'd be a lot of fun to play for.
I'll tell you, he he is energetic, he is intense, and he lights the offense on fire, buddy.
Was
Specifically quarterbacks.
was he was he the head coach in Tampa when you were there?
Yep.
Oh boy. Tell me more.
Yep. He's what you see is what you get. I mean, same guy, but he
Did
is
the players
hard.
like him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
From
intense, right?
just intense. He's hard on the quarterbacks. Very hard on the quarterbacks.
Maybe he's mellowed out over the last what was that?
Yeah, and there's a lot with him that it's hard to decipher whether is he mad or is he just like fired up, like can be difficult to get a read on the guy.
The engine just gets it's running hot and you're really not sure how to interpret it.
I'll tell you though, the first team meeting, whenever he walked in, it was like, everyone having a good day? Knock if you whatever.
Knock
And
if you hear
everybody,
me.
and I was like, and I could never, it took me a while to get the timing down. Everyone else had it down to like, it's like a repeated thing. Everyone knew exactly when to knock it. I was like the random late knock out there in the audience.
Oh, I really hope he ends up coaching in the SEC, especially.
Yeah.
I don't want him to coach anywhere. I it just feels like it has to be the SEC.
Rutgers or something like that. No,
Oh, no.
I'm with you.
Throw him in the mix. Let's get weird.
Yeah.
Auburn, Florida. Why was it Brian Kelly has a poor year? That AD, it's well documented. He likes to go big game hunting.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bayou faithful would have any issues with.
I would say like right
I don't know.
now, Gruden's a quarterback guy. If all of those jobs came available, he'd probably be sniffing around Florida with Lagway, would be my guess, but I don't know. It's
What a
college
fun.
football. Just go find the quarterback you want
Yeah.
somewhere, right? Take him off someone else's team.
Just does he still do it was Hooters commercials, right? Is he still doing those?
I think did Hooters go bankrupt?
That sounds right.
I think they did. Or they're closing restaurants down, I think. I could have that totally wrong.
What a shame. I once ate 50 wings at a Hooters in Florida on spring break in college. It's great. Watching the NCAA tournament. It's a
That's
good wing.
it is a good wing. It's not a small wing either.
I was a big boy at the time. Any other Gruden thoughts? I just the thought of that guy getting into college is exciting to me. You
It
know,
is. It is. And as more teams transition to the NFL style scouting department and front office, for lack of a better term, then you may start to see some of those guys maybe making that transition. I don't know.
if he gets cut a massive check from the NFL, though, maybe he just looks at it and goes, you know what? Maybe I don't need to coach anymore.
I don't know, dude.
He,
I don't
do
know.
you love ball, man?
Really love it, man.
Do you love it, man?